sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live on this Sunday morning for another edition of Talking Sports Sundays. We're here this morning. We got some of the crew here. We got our man T1 of City League TV, somebody else, also Mr. Claiborne, the creator of X. You can describe that better than I can. His clothing line is banging. How you feeling this morning?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. Ready to rock and roll. XK exclusive kicks.
XK exclusive kicks. Y'all gotta check him out. I'm telling you, his brand is unbelievable. All colors, all shapes, all sizes. He's the man. Check him out. We also got our man FanDuel Zaya of the FanDuel Zaya podcast. You never know what his background is going to look like because he's in all kinds of different places, wherever he might be. Our man FanDuel Zaya, how you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm up here at Briggs High School. They got the cheerleading competition today. You know, we're just making sure everything goes smooth. But y'all know what it is. We back with another banger.
Back with another banger for sure. We also got our man SEC Sean with us tonight. This morning. His Texas A&M Aggies had a great win yesterday over Missouri. How you feeling this morning, SEC Sean?
We feeling pretty good this morning. Non-sports related, just found out that my granddaughter finally used the potty.
All right.
Hey, that's a milestone.
That's a victory right there.
That's going to save Grandpa's wallet from all them little diapers.
Oh, that's right.
And Zay, is that better for you?
Nah, that one's terrible too, man.
I went and dug this one out just because of that yesterday, just for today. We good. We're real good. Had a really good day of college football yesterday. Had some good, close, exciting games. Let's get into them because we got some stuff to talk about today.
We sure enough got some stuff to talk about, man. I'm telling you right now, yesterday's slate of action was unbelievable, man. All those close games coming down to the wire. We had some great games, especially in the Big Ten. Some of those contests were really, really exciting. You had to stay there and watch the whole entire game because it was so daggone exciting to watch. So shout out to the Big Ten for the product they put out there on the field yesterday. It was really, really good. But we're going to start off before we introduce our man post-game of the Post-Game 86 podcast. We're going to start off with the ACC, and then we'll go to the Big Ten. But let's welcome in our man post-game of the Post-Game 86 podcast. How you feeling post-game?
Hey, I feel good, man. Great day of football yesterday. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. What did y'all think about the outcome of those games in the ACC yesterday? How much did they hurt themselves with some of the losses that they took? We also seen Florida State go down again. What's going to happen with Mike Norvell? Do they need to go ahead and cut ties with him right now? What's y'all's thoughts on that ACC and how they help themselves or hurt themselves about this college football playoff?
Man, listen. The ACC is done. They're getting their conference champ, and that's it. Wake Forest beat Virginia on the road. I called it. I said that was a game that we needed to look at. I did not expect Louisville to go down against Cal. That quarterback for Cal was humming yesterday. He a freshman and he went on the road and he played spectacular. I'm looking. SMU look like they got a chance now to win the conference. What about UConn beating Duke? Like, come on, what are we doing? Like, this conference is just bad, bro. This whole conference is bad. And if they get more than one team, it should be a travesty. It will be a travesty.
They won't. They no way. No way. All I can say is sweet November, man. Sweet November, man. College football was cracking yesterday, and you kind of saw what each conference was. You saw the ACC ain't doing much, ain't getting much, and a lot of big surprises in the ACC. Virginia going down, and as you said, they're only getting one.
Well, if you you look at the ACC, man, again, like these gentlemen just said, it's wild. Like I still believe that Pittsburgh can take this conference. Um, Even if Pittsburgh loses to Notre Dame, they still only have one loss in the ACC. So it'll be interesting to see if they can, put it together and get the conference championship. But at this point, the ACC is only going to get one bid. Really shocking considering teams like Miami and Clemson to begin the season. So it'll be one team coming out the ACC for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the ACC's done. We knew that the ACC or Big 12 was going to get one and the other one was going to get two. The ACC has now eliminated themselves to one. And as much as Pitt looks good, Pitt's got a tough last 3 games. They got Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, and Miami. So we'll see what happens with Pitt. SMU looks like they're going to roll. It's going to come down to SMU and that Louisville game to see if SMU can make it to the conference title game. But you still got Georgia Tech. I mean, who knows? But yeah, they're a one-bid league. They beat themselves up yesterday.
Yeah, I think it would be different, man, if these teams were actually like good, you know what I'm saying? And they were eating on each other, you know what I'm saying? You could be able to say, man, but they're a really good football team, man. But they're not, man. So I'm like, anything more than one would, man, it would not be good, man. If anything more than one got in out of the ACC. And like our man T1 said the other day, we were thinking Miami, Clemson, Florida State, how they beat Alabama. We was thinking, okay, man, they about to make this thing interesting going into the college football playoffs. And we ain't mentioned none of those three teams. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, it's crazy that the ACC is got teams in there that we hadn't even thought would even be there. We sort of mentioned Louisville a little bit because we thought they had a good team, but they go down yesterday to Cal in overtime. We were wondering if Georgia Tech will hold off, but they lost last week. Then you get Virginia losing to Wake Forest yesterday, which our man FanDuel Zaya called that win for Wake Forest. It's like, would anybody in the country even want to see more than one team for the ACC in the freaking college football playoffs? The answer has to be a resounding no. There's no way anybody in this country wants to see 2 teams from the ACC in the college football playoffs. So, committee, I hope you're listening. Do not put more than one team in the college football playoffs. We know you got to put one in there because they're a conference champ. But outside of that, we're going to accept that one. We probably really don't even want that. But we got to go with that, man. I think the ACC really did themselves a disservice by beating up on each other like that and being so weak, really. Being so weak. So that's all I got to say about the ACC. What did y'all think about the Big 12 yesterday? BYU, Texas Tech. The way that game went is Utah, even though they lost to BYU, is they a better team to possibly make the college football playoffs? Because the way BYU looked yesterday, they did not look good. Maybe that conference should only get one team as well. What's your thoughts on the Big 12?
BYU looked horrible. They looked absolutely horrible. Now you get to thinking about the Big 12 as well. So I'm even thinking to the Big 12 probably it might only get one in as well, because now I mean, are you going to say that a 2-loss Big 12 or ACC team is better than a 3-loss Big 10 or SEC team? So it's starting to look bad. And as I said, it's sweet November. And as we entered this sweet month of November, you're starting to see teams get exposed. And a lot of that happened yesterday. And you saw a lot of good football to go along with some of the bad football that was put out there.
Yeah, BYU couldn't do nothing with Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is more like I've said this previously. They're more like a Big Ten or SEC school that's sitting in the Big 12. Their team this year, and I think what's being shown is a lot of these teams that got a chance to make it into the playoff. We're talking about BYU, Cincy, Houston, all two lost teams in the conference. Utah. Um, these teams are gonna get popped. If they get into the playoff, they're getting popped. I don't care who they facing. If it's a school that's out of the Big Ten or the SEC, they're going to get ran up and down the field, and that's how I feel about this conference. I think Texas Tech can play with people. I think they can play with some of these teams across the country. But everybody else, man, they just don't got the interior, man. It's the interior. If you watch that BYU game, that defensive line on their whole offensive line the whole game, they couldn't do nothing. They couldn't do nothing with them boys. Uh, we'll see though. I think they still deserve two teams. I don't want to see five from no conference. Um,
Right.
4 and 4, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if I seen 4 from the Big Ten and the SEC, but I still like the 4-3-2-1 model. Just to spread it out a little bit. So uh, right now, I will pick Texas Tech and Cincy to make it out of this conference because Cincy still play, and I think if they can beat BYU, they'll probably have a leg up. Even though they got Utah all the way up there in the rankings. It's gonna come down to tiebreakers too, and who can make that conference championship. I don't know. I probably had to ask Sean. Because I don't quite remember. Sean, you remember how the breakdowns go in that conference?
I don't. I mean, I was really focused more on our two conferences when I was looking at it. I can pull it up and look, and if we do another show today, tomorrow, whatever, we can. I can have that out for you. But the way I'm looking at it right now, it looks like if obviously if BYU wins out, they're going to replay Tech because they have the tiebreaker over Utah. But if Utah wins out and BYU loses a game, then it's going to be a rematch of Tech and Utah. So there is a very strong possibility in either one of those cases that the Big
But
12 is only a one
it's
bid
like
league.
it's 4 teams with 2 losses, and 3 teams in the league with 2 losses though, and it's 3 with
Right.
1.
But in conference, you've got 3 with 1 loss. But
So that's why
if
we gotta look at tiebreakers because Utah.
yeah, I see it. You keep cutting out.
Yeah, your mic keep going out,
Your mic
Randall.
keeps cutting out.
Utah didn't play Cincy. That's what I'm saying. So how would you
Right.
tie break that?
Yeah, I see. So I'm going to have to look into that because you're right. Utah doesn't
Right.
play Cincy. Cincy would have to lose another game, and so would BYU for Utah to get in. So it's going to be a little craziness over there, but the way it's looking right now, if it falls, and let's remember BYU fell apart last year at the end of the season. So if they drop another game or two, then you're probably looking at a one bid league. And then you're going to have 4-4-1-1 Notre Dame and then the group of 5.
Yeah, I think the the Big 12 is only going to get one in as it currently stands. I thought Utah would be a little better, and they are a good team for the Big 12, but the way they played at home against Texas Tech, I'm not too high on Utah either. Texas Tech has the goods. I think they can compete with a lot of teams in the playoffs. So uh, I believe the Big 12 will get one representative when it comes to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I only want them to get one team too, man. I think Texas Tech is the only team that I think that can compete out there in the college football playoffs. They're the only team that's built for what they would face out there in the college football playoffs, man. I'm hoping they only get one team in because I would definitely love to see four from the Big Ten and four from the SEC in there. I mean, if I really wanted to be a homer, I would want five from the SEC to give my Texas Longhorns a better chance of getting in there, and then three from the Big Ten. But I can live with four for four because I think those two are the best two conferences. And the way we saw Oregon get their win yesterday and USC get their win, I would like to see some of them get an opportunity as well. But we'll talk about the Big Ten later on in the show. But I don't. I really don't like any of those other teams in the Big 12, and I hope that those teams that got a chance to be in there, I hope they lose some more games. What do y'all think about BYU if they make it to the championship game and lose? Should they get in just because they made it to their conference championship game? If they don't lose any more games, they only got the one loss. They make it to their championship game. Do you think they should make the college football playoffs?
No, they looked horrible yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. I say no too.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think so either.
I don't believe so.
The stat to carry out of that game, Texas Tech ran 43 plays in BYU's territory. BYU ran 9 in Tech's territory. BYU couldn't move the ball at all.
Yeah, they look bad.
Yeah, they looked really bad. Let me get that off the screen. Well, now Colorado has been eliminated from making a bowl game. What should Coach Prime's thinking be at this point? Should he be trying to get up out of Colorado?
Man, Prime need to focus on his health, man.
Yeah.
He good. He has the best doctors that money can buy. He definitely focused on his health, and he definitely know if he need to stay in or get out.
If I'm Coach Prime, yeah, Colorado, he's pretty much still king there. Even though he's having a bad season, they love Coach Prime. They love what he's done financially for that city, that state, that school. But when it comes to winning, I just don't think he can get the kind of interior players that he needs to win at Colorado. He gets great quarterbacks. He gets talent at wide receiver, DB, but they just can't get it done when it comes to interior players. If the right situation comes knocking, i.e., a Florida State, which I don't know if they're going to want him now because of his record this year. But again, if the right situation comes about, and I'm Coach Prime, I'm going to have to explore options. And that's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I don't think his record this year plays a huge deal into it. With what he lost, I mean, he lost all of his productivity. So, and he's not getting the players there that he would get if he was I almost want to say anywhere else. It's like they don't want to go to Colorado. Like maybe it's too cold for them, or I don't know. I don't understand why he's not able to get the players in there. You know, it's almost as if they're not, as if his bag isn't big enough because his name is. So, you know, I think it's time to go.
Yeah, I think I would like to see him go. I really would, because I would like to see him at a better destination where I think he could get the kind of players that he needs. But if they're going to get that 20.8 million annually, he needs to really go out there and drop some bags for some of these linemen that are out there, especially the ones who, if they're top three, 2 or 3 are teams where you already know you're gonna have to sit a year or two, and he can tell them, listen, you're gonna come in here and immediately get playing time. We're gonna eventually get the experience. The NFL is gonna see you. He might be able to get some of those guys in the interior offensive line, defensive line to come there if he can drop a nice bag. And couple that with the fact that they're going to be able to play early. Because if you notice, a lot of linemen, well, I ain't going to say a lot, but quite a few linemen have decided that's the route that they're going to take. They're going to go where they can play immediately. They know that the development might not be as high as it is at an Ohio State or Texas or Alabama or Georgia or Michigan or Texas A&M or Notre Dame, but they'll go there because they can get on the field early. A clear example is Michael Fasusi for Oklahoma, their left tackle. He's playing right now, and he was down in Texas and now, but he knew he wasn't going to be able to play right away. So he chose to play right away over the money and having to sit and get developed. And I think some of these linemen are going to probably take that route to get on the field early, and playing experience is going to be their development, even if that team doesn't have the greatest of offensive line coach or defensive line coach. So I think Prime can probably take that angle if he's going to stay in Colorado. Anything else y'all want to add about the Big 12? All right, cool. Let's move on to the SEC. We saw a few games there yesterday. Some of the teams were playing some lower level competition. Some of them had some conference games. What did y'all think about Florida laying a total goose egg to Kentucky? We knew that this Florida team really wasn't playing well, even though they have a lot of talent. I didn't expect them to lose like they lost to Kentucky. What y'all think about that game, the LSU Alabama game, and some of the other games that were in that conference yesterday?
Florida's schedule it was just, I mean, it was brutal. Whether you think the SEC is good from the top to the bottom or not, that schedule was just brutal. And I just think now they tired and beat up. They're tired and beat up, and even these last 2 games are just going to be a challenge for them young men to get out there and go hard. I mean, they just had a brutal schedule, and we saw that at the beginning of the year, and it's looking like it panned out as we all predicted, and that was Florida just not being good because they just had just too tough of a schedule.
Man, when I think about that game, I just go back to coaching, man. I don't think it's a lot of great coaches in the SEC, honestly. There's some good ones out there, but man, some of these dudes, they just be skating by, getting free checks, man. That's how I feel. And their coach got fired, but usually that injects energy into the program. But ain't no way they should have looked at like the way they did yesterday against Kentucky. Kentucky, man. Y'all done seen them play better against better teams, you know? And that's another thing I've been seeing across the SEC yesterday, too. People are playing to the level of their competition. They're not coming out there to dominate, you know? Texas A&M is the only team I seen in the SEC yesterday that dominated and didn't play down to the level of their competition. I seen Bama, LSU played down to their competition. Bama should have torched LSU yesterday. But this is a reoccurring thing, though. This is not the first time I've seen Bama play down to the level of their competition. And that leads me back to coaching.
Hey Zay, quick question: Are they playing down to their competition, or are they just not that good? I think it's a huge difference between playing down to your competition and who you're playing. They've closed the gap of how much better you are than them.
Well, T, I said in the group chat about a week ago, it's a 50-50 chance that either the SEC is really deep or is really mid. And I mean, the jury is still out.
It ain't out for me. It's really mid. If you watched that football yesterday, it's really mid. You saw those teams that are mid and they look mid. You saw the teams at the bottom. They look like they deserve to be at the bottom. I mean, you saw some of the teams that's at the top, and you're like, okay.
Or the third thing you can ask, in my opinion, is if those bad teams in the SEC just have talent on them. Just my thoughts. But SEC Sean, you said, I believe last stream you said that Florida has a multiple wide receivers out for this game, right?
Right, and it's not all injuries. Three
Okay.
of them. Dallas Wilson, their stud freshman, is out with a foot injury. He's out with an injury. Three others opted out. They don't want to play anymore this year.
Oh, dang.
Got you.
And that's due to, I'm pretty sure, the fact that they had only played 3 or 4 games and they don't want to lose a year of eligibility.
Got you.
And they benched Lagway yesterday.
Ooh. I mean, I thought the SEC was fine yesterday. Again, conference play, some of these teams do have, talented players on them still, regardless of what their record says. Texas A&M, like I've been saying all season, they can play in multiple ways and get the job done. I'm impressed by them. Alabama got the job done. So I was fine with the SEC. I know, Rob, your Longhorns was on bye. They got some critical games coming down the stretch, but I thought the SEC was fine yesterday.
I agree. They were fine.
What's your thoughts, SEC, Sean?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say the SEC's mid. Is it as powerful as it has been maybe in the past? I don't know. Probably not. But to post game's credit, or speaking truth, every team in the SEC's got talent, just like every team in the Big Ten's got talent. Those are the 2 most talented conferences. They're always putting the most kids in the NFL. I mean, to me, I think the SEC is above average this year with depth. I think you have 4 really solid teams at the top, and then it's kind of a mixture at that point, starting with Texas, Oklahoma. Florida just flat out quit. You can see that. Florida's done for the year. They won't win another. They just quit. Those kids have quit. As far as Bama, I mean, Bama and LSU is a rival game. And I told y'all on the stream the other day, I said LSU is going to be close. Now, 20-9 is not as close as I thought, but it's still closer than most people expected. I mean, LSU switched to their backup quarterback, and he started moving them a little bit. But LSU, they just couldn't get in the red zone. You kick 3 field goals. Come on, man. A&M, yeah, we just did what we do. Go on the road. It's the only team in the country with 3 ranked road wins.
Well,
So-
when almost all your conferences ranked,
don't
you
start that.
have a
T.
lot
Don't
of
start
conference
that. Don't
ranked.
start
I
that.
mean, y'all have 14 ranked teams. Every game
That's
is
not
a
our
ranked.
problem. That's not our
Every
problem.
game is a ranked game. Yeah, I know it's not y'all's problem, but
Right.
I mean, y'all's whole conference is ranked.
Well, a lot of them, yeah.
So it's
They
no
shouldn't have been.
surprise
They
that
shouldn't have been.
y'all beat this ranked team and
Yep.
they lost to this top ranked team and all of that stuff. All that ranking stuff, man. I wish they wouldn't rank until like how the college football playoffs did, but they did the same thing that ESPN did, so it really don't matter.
Right. So, there's that. I mean, we did what we do. We go on the road. We find ways. It was ugly in the first half until the fumble, which, that 25, Dalton Brooks picked up and ran back to the 2, and then we kind of put the game at 2 scores. The fake punt was a huge call. We did what we do. We went on the road. We handled what we needed to do. Yeah, we let them run for 207 yards on us. But I told y'all going into the game, we're going to let them run the ball. We're not going to let that quarterback. We're going to make that quarterback beat us. And he couldn't. And I knew he couldn't with an Elko defense watching that. That kid finished 7 for 22 for 77 yards. Now, mind you, one guy had 3 catches for 74 yards. So he had 4 completions for 3 yards if you remove that guy. I mean, I knew the game plan going in. And then that was that. Do I think we're the greatest team in the country? No, by no stretch of the imagination. Do I think we can play multiple styles with anybody in the country? Probably. Can we beat an Ohio State? Don't know. Hopefully we get that chance. I wouldn't like our chances, but I'd like to see the game.
Well, if they was doing this thing right, Texas A&M probably would be ranked number 1 according to their strength of schedule.
Well, and I get that. But again, like you said, I don't care about being ranked number 1. I don't care. That's for everybody else to talk about and all these other podcasts around the country. But I'm fine saying 3, 4, 2. I don't care. 7. As long as we're in, I don't care. And we're pretty much locked now. The worst we're going to finish. Worst would be 10-2. And that's if we lose to South Carolina. That's not going to happen. So we'll be undefeated heading into Austin.
Yeah, I think at this time of the year, we're seeing what we expect to see and what we see every single year in college football. Once it gets to November and you get down to those last 3, 4, 5 games, you start to see contests where teams are playing against rivals. Teams are going into other team stadiums who may not have a whole lot to play for, but they want to play spoilers. So they're out there playing their hearts out. We've seen a lot of that yesterday in college football. And I think, we have to see that every year this is what takes place. We always get this without fail every single year. And we had close contests and games that we thought probably shouldn't be as close. And we had some games where we thought the game would probably be close, and it wasn't. So, I mean, that's just how it goes. College football has been like that throughout. I think that the SEC is one of those conferences where you got maybe 1 or 2 teams that could probably be competing for the national championship, and then you got another 6 or 8 teams who are good, but maybe not as good as those top 2 teams. I think it's a pretty deep league, especially when you got to go on the road and play in some of them stadiums where you don't have as many fans, and they got that crowd as one of the advantages in that game to help them get some juice and win. I think you see that throughout a lot of the conferences, especially the Big Two and the Big Ten and the SEC. I like what I saw yesterday. I like for teams to have some adversity this late in the season to be able to pull out wins that look kind of bleak at certain points of the game, because that adds to your ability to overcome stuff. And I like for teams to be able to face that kind of stuff. And I think we saw a lot of that yesterday. And so these teams are going to be in a better position going forward, in my opinion, even though they might have another close game or two. I like the way it looked yesterday in the SEC, and I like the way it looked in all the conferences, especially those two conferences, the Big 12 and the ACC, because I only want them to get one team. I don't think they deserve to have more than that. Anything else y'all want to add about the Big 12 the SEC before we go to the Big 10?
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Zay.
Yeah, man, listen, I just be breaking teams down. I study, and when I see things that keep on happening with teams, I just talk about it. Bama had 17 points at half. I've seen their offense disappear in the second half multiple times. That's something. What did we say at the beginning of the year? Bama ain't got no run game. It reared its head again yesterday. Now you really seeing things happen over and over with teams. This is who you are at this point. And when you get to a playoff, that inefficiency, that lack of a run game is going to rear its head against the wrong team. And that's the only thing I be just mentioning about some of these teams. I thought Zollers was going to have a better day yesterday because I like what I seen from him. But like Sean said, Mike Elko going to confuse the heck out of that kid. He confused that kid the whole game. And they was getting after him too. So kudos to Texas A&M. But a lot of these other teams that I've seen across the country, I'm seeing the same problems with them. It's like they're not getting better in places that they should be getting better at.
Let me ask everybody, just don't have to look nothing up. I've got it pulled up. I'm just curious what everybody's response would be. Everybody's seen LSU and Bama. Neither one of them have got great running attacks, right? LSU's probably had the worst rushing attack, right? LSU outrushed Alabama 59-56. I'm gonna tell you, if Alabama runs for 56 yards against A&M, A&M's gonna beat them by 4 touchdowns. That's what people don't understand. Alabama went to Missouri and won by 3. We went to Missouri and won by 3 touchdowns. So all this, Alabama's the greatest thing ever. I don't agree with it. I hate Alabama. I can't stand that game.
Yeah, Alabama definitely ain't the old Alabama. They're definitely not great.
The team that looked like the closest to their old version was Georgia yesterday. But I'm just going to give a quick shout out to my lovely community of Shiner, Texas, real quick. A, they make the best beer in the world. And 2, they gave us Dawson Brooks. And I'm going to tell you, that kid's a freak. Go look up on YouTube. Look up Shiner, Texas state championship games and watch him and his brother. His brother was like a defensive lineman that played running back. And he literally stiff-armed a dude 6 yards. Yeah, I got to give a shout out to that little bitty German community down there. They're something else.
Hey, Sean, whenever you go back to Shiner, man, ship me some beer.
Dude, it's up here.
It's up here?
Yeah. It's everywhere. It's called Shiner Bob. It's a yellow label with a ram on it.
Okay. I'm about to check the brewery.
Swing by the house. I got a case in even after yesterday.
Yeah, that's going to be a go ahead, Jesse.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, that's going to be a big concern for Alabama if they can't, and they haven't been able to establish a run game. I don't know if their key running back was healthier enough or not, but if they can't establish a run game, they're really going to have to lean on their passing game and those wide receivers. And is that going to be good enough for them to win? They got 3 dynamic receivers, a pretty decent tight end. Are they going to be able to live off of that? And I think in certain instances, if they can play good defense, they can. They can probably make it a game or two in the college football playoffs. But if they meet a juggernaut with a really good defense that can play light in the box, they're going to be in some trouble. Anything else for the SEC before we go to the Big Ten? All right, well, let's talk about the Big Ten. Let's start off with that game, Indiana and Penn State. If you were the offensive coordinator, what would you have done different on that last drive with 3 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in that game? Is there anything you would have done differently?
I don't know that I mean, looking at hindsight, yeah, I mean, you'd like to take more time off before you score. But I mean, that offense isn't that good. So you kind of got to just do and hope your defense can hold them. I mean, the defense have been playing good all game. So, it goes back to if you have a 4-minute offense, everybody talks about 2 minute. Now, a 4 to 6 minute offense is how you can close out games. Just run the ball down their throat methodically and make it go. But Penn State just doesn't have that. They have to try to take the lead, and they did. And you hope your defense can hold, and it didn't. It took a hell of a play for them to lose that game. One of the best plays of the year, if not the best play of the year. That kid's toe tap was insane. I thought he was out, but then I realized he kept that one foot up and drug the other. And I was like, okay. So I don't know that you could have done much else.
Yeah, I don't excuse me. I don't know if you could have done anything else. Again, you would have liked to have kept the ball longer and melted the clock, but like SEC Sean just said, their offense really isn't that good. But man, if it wasn't for the play of the year, that was crazy. That was miraculous. If it wasn't for that, because Mendoza didn't have a great game up to that point, up to the latter part of the game, but he came through in the clutch when it was needed, and IU got the job done. Iowa holding Oregon to 18 points and not being able to get the job done. Man, they just need some offense, because Iowa held IU to 20 and couldn't get the job done. Your offense got to do something, man. But that was a really good game. Although Dante Moore didn't have his best game, Oregon went on the road and got a good victory. The Big Ten was nice yesterday. I mean, I believe now USC, Michigan, Washington probably is out of the running, but USC and Michigan are still in the running for a playoff spot. And of course, you got Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana. So it'll be another interesting playoff scenario to see how things play out in that conference.
Yeah, that Penn State OC, he's no good. But I agree with Doug. I mean, with Sean. My bad. The second time. But I agree, man. You got points when you can get them, because that offense, it hasn't been good all year. And I mean, hell of a play. Without that play, they probably don't lose that game without that play. I believe, Indiana, man.
Was that third down or fourth down? Was that third or fourth down when he did that?
It was third.
Was it third?
I want to say it was third down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
And I thought Mendoza, he kind of had a Heisman moment in that game, because he played terrible up until that last drive. Like the whole game, he played bad. He made a couple plays throughout the game with his legs, to extend some plays and stuff. But for the most part, he didn't have a good game at all. But to hum up a drive like that at the end of the game with the money on the wood, it was big time. Well, we seen a lot of good games across the Big Ten yesterday. Oregon winning a classic Big Ten game. They had like 250 plus yards rushing. I mean, they was running the ball all over Iowa. Even though Dante Moore didn't have a good game, he hummed up a nice drive at the end of the game, get them in field goal range, and ultimately win that game with a field goal. The Buckeyes did what we do, looked dominant, scored on 6 out of 8 of our possessions. We threw a pick on the goal line, and we had 1 punt in the game. So highly efficient game from the Buckeyes. Washington blew it, man. I mean, you got the money on the wood. You win this game, you win your next game. You got Oregon to see if you go to the playoff or not. Just blew it, just blew it. And what we saying from Wisconsin is the total opposite of what I was saying with Florida. Them dudes are still playing hard, and they on their 4th quarterback. They're on their 4th quarterback due to injury. So that I just think Fickle is doing an unbelievable job of having his boys ready to play still, even with all the things going on. And that's another school that got a super tough schedule. We came in the year like, look at their schedule, banger, So yeah, it was a good day though in football. There was a lot of great games across the country, not just in the Big Ten. I've seen a lot of great games. One thing you want to see is you don't want to see blowouts. You want to see something that's interesting, And that's what we got. We got a lot of interesting games.
Well, Zay, that's kind of funny that you say you don't want to see blowouts and you want to see interesting games, because when I look at the scores of these Big Ten games, and then I look over at the scores of these SEC games, it's different. It's different. You had only one score game over in the SEC. Everything else was nothing to see here. Like, absolutely. And that one game was Auburn and Vandy. A shootout, 38-45. Bums. But just scoring on top of scoring on top of scoring. Then you get the Kentucky-Florida game, 38-7. Then you get the Georgia-Mississippi State game, 41-21. Then you had Ole Miss and Citadel, 49-zip. Alabama LSU, 20-9. And that game looks like it was a little close, but LSU never had a chance in that game. They couldn't get in the end zone. Then you have Texas A&M and Missouri, 38-17. I mean, I'm really, really trying to figure out, and y'all try to come at me like I'm hating. I'm not hating. I'm watching football. I go over to the Big Ten side. We had a couple of them, but with Ohio State, we see now that Ohio State they're actually okay. You know what I mean? They're actually okay. And then probably the next team after that, after what we've seen with Indiana and Penn State, we're like, okay, now Indiana just may not be as close as we thought they were to Ohio State. You got the Indiana and Penn State game of one score game, 27-24. You got the Oregon-Iowa game, a one score game, 18-16. You got the Washington-Wisconsin game, a one score game, 10-13. You got the Nebraska and UCLA game, a one score game, football games that you're interested in actually watching. All of this madness with this SEC stuff, and we're in November, and this is the production that ESPN is producing and blowing up and talking about. These were the game. This was the November schedule to where we're locked in front of that TV. I wasn't locked in front of the TV with no SEC games yesterday. Not a one. Not one game was I locked in front of the TV like, this is football. This the top conference. They should have 10 ranked teams out of the top 25. Man, y'all killing me.
Well,
y'all killing me. Tell me where I said something wrong at, please.
Go back a week. I want you to go back 1 week.
I'm not going back a week. I'm talking about what I watched yesterday, and I watched some great football yesterday.
That's why. Because you go back last week, we had one game that wasn't a one-score game in the SEC, and y'all had four.
Exactly. Yeah.
So don't tell. It's not every week.
No. But we're not proclaimed as the best, and we're not proclaimed to where even you play them teams down at the bottom. You're gonna have to play. You're gonna have to fight top to bottom. It should be every single week. Don't give me no. Hey, look at last week. Look at 4 weeks ago. No, be consistent. And as a Buckeye fan, one thing I lean heavily on is consistency. So be consistent.
Yeah.
Even within teams, be consistent. If you ain't consistent, I don't care about nothing what you're talking about.
Man, my thoughts are this, man. I guess I just love the game of football. So whether it's SEC, Big Ten, ACC, whatever the case may be, I'm not gonna say. And I'm not on ESPN, nor do I watch their talk shows, so I don't know what they be talking about. But I just enjoy the game. I don't say SEC versus Big Ten, Big Ten. I don't do all
You're
that.
not in the conference, and we all enjoy games.
I'm
so
not.
You ain't
I'm
saying
not.
nothing post game. You talking
Hold
like
on,
you ain't in the conference.
hold on. Can I speak my piece? I didn't cut you off.
You got it.
I'm just saying. I'm not on here as a Notre Dame fan. I'm giving my thoughts. I'm analyzing. I don't even like for people to know which team I root for secretly. That's my personal business. But while I'm on here, I'm just analyzing the game. Like these are young men. I just like the game of football. That's just my thoughts.
Got you.
Yeah, when I was speaking though, I know we seen some lopsided scores in the SEC yesterday, but I thought in the Big 12 we seen a lot of good games outside of that BYU game. I thought the ACC as well. I thought it was interesting games across the board. I was tuned in to Wake Forest and Virginia. I watched that game. That's a one-score game. It was a banger. That's a team that was fighting for a playoff position. That's a banger. You watch a team like that go down. That's interesting football to me.
And I'm agreeing with that, and that's kind of like all I'm saying. Because when you, even like you said, even when you go over to that Big 12, they had even the Houston UCF 30-27, Colorado West Virginia 29-22, Kansas Arizona 20-24, Iowa State TCU 2017. It was some great football yesterday, and I just saw a conference that didn't have great football on such a great football Saturday.
Well, I mean,
and that's just my opinion, just like all y'all's opinion. And yes, I am Ohio State fan. Yes, I do root for Ohio State. And when I see something that I feel like, and it's my opinion, it seemed like it's wrong, I'm gonna bring it to light.
Well, I mean, we got an 11-week picture here, bro. We ain't got no 1 week picture. It's 11 weeks.
And the SEC look like the SEC been looking as far as what I've been speaking.
Everybody. I
don't see no dominance over there. I don't see a conference that's head and shoulders above the rest. I don't see a conference that should have 4 more ranked teams than another conference out here. That's all I'm saying. And all y'all saying is, "Yep, it sure is." No.
I mean, if you look at what has happened over the 11 weeks of time, they've played some really, really good competition, and that's why they got those teams in there. Like I said before, once the season gets done, you start to see things start to clear out a lot more. You're gonna probably see Missouri fall out of the top 25 because now what has happened? They done played those games to where now you're gonna see them fall out. You're gonna see some other teams fall out. That's the way it goes. You got to let the whole thing play off. We got an 11-week picture here. In every single conference, you've seen some lopsided wins. In every single conference, you've seen some close wins. Every single conference, you've seen bangers one week, might not see bangers the next week. That's the way the game goes. Every week cannot be a banger in every conference every single week because that's the way scheduling goes. Sometimes it don't happen. But I think if you look at the 11-week picture, it all looks the same for everybody. And you're going to start to see that the SEC probably won't have all those teams ranked in the top 25 when it's all said and done because you're going to see them play opponents who are ranked higher than them or ranked in the top 25 that's going to beat them, that's going to cause them to have to fall out. We probably would have seen Vanderbilt fall out yesterday had they lost that game yesterday that they had. They would have had 3 losses and probably would have fell out. They were able to win that game, so they're able to stay in. So some teams are going to fall out of there, and I don't think it's a bias because every single people that's out there doing polls that has nothing to do with ESPN, that has nothing to do with the SEC, they're looking at it the same way. I guarantee you, if we did a poll in here, it would probably look very, very similar.
No, I think our poll.
You're saying.
Very, very similar.
You're saying look at 11 weeks. I'm saying look at the past 2 years. So if you're looking at the past 2 years, you're seeing that the SEC has lost its dominance, but the SEC is still getting credit for being this SEC that they were 3 years ago. You're saying look at 11 weeks. Look at 11 weeks of what? I'm looking at what has been going on in college football for the past couple of years. And what I've seen is a decline in the SEC. And you're saying, no, the SEC still here. There's no bias. It's a clear bias. The SEC hasn't done anything in 2 years.
Apparently you ain't been listening to us. Have we all not been given the Big Ten hella credit?
I'm not taking that bogus stuff. That don't impress me.
If we state some facts about the Big Ten and the SEC being very comparable, that it's bogus because we like the SEC. No, bro, that's not. You don't ever hear me saying anything about the Big Ten to where it's not facts. You're saying it based on your bias and the fact that you don't like it. Hell yeah, the Big Ten has clearly been one of the best conferences in the country the last 2 years. They got the last 2 national champions. How can you
So why wouldn't our mid-level teams get the same respect and rank? Because it even started off early in the season. I mean, you had a Washington that was 5-0, regardless of who they played, but they still wasn't ranked. I mean, you just there is a bias, man. You can't say that there's not a bias.
Because of that very reason. But did they ever get ranked? Did Washington ever get ranked?
Yeah, they just now getting ranked, though.
They just now getting ranked. And then they just
lost. They just now leaving out. And they just now leaving out. Now they got
3
to go.
losses now. Which means that those people saw that Washington probably wasn't really as good as their record probably looked at 5-0. Now they got 3 losses and probably shouldn't be.
Washington to smack y'all's mid SEC team.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We don't know.
Okay, wait. I hope they play one of them.
This Washington team you're talking about has 3 losses right now, and we know that they're not that good. That's a fact. So they shouldn't be.
I disagree with that. They had a very ugly loss yesterday, but then outside of that, I mean, who did they lose to?
What 3-loss teams do you see in the SEC that's ranked?
Well, this the thing though.
They lost to Ohio State and Michigan.
They lost Denzel Boston for a time period in that game. They lost Jonah Coleman for a time period in that game. And that's where the depth part come in, because I think Indiana struggled because their left side of the line is banged up. Their left tackle didn't play. Their left because he was out. They're down to their 3rd left guard, and that's a big concern for Indiana. And I think injuries is starting to affect some of these teams now that we get into the latter part of the season.
It's part of the game.
Every conference, though. Every conference that's happened.
I'm just mentioning. You know, some of these teams ain't got the depth, you know, and it's going some of these teams you gonna look at, you be like, yeah, they might have been good if they could have juked out the injuries. But this is the NIL era we live in, man. You gotta find depth. And it's hard to find depth now because you can't just sit 4 and 5 star guys on behind these guys that's starting on your roster no more because they can get paid to play somewhere else.
That's the thing. Is there SEC bias, T? Yes. 100% from the national media. Yes, there is. 100%. I will not argue that at all with you. But you're right too, Zay. I think the mid teams in the SEC or even the upper echelon in the SEC and the Big Ten, your Ohio States, your even Indiana's having struggle, you can see with depth. Those teams that have built their rosters and have these kids that can go, A&M rotates 7 offensive linemen. We rotate 3 centers in a game. There's no other school that's rotating their center 3 times, because we keep them fresh. Ohio State has plenty of depth on especially the offense, defense side, whatever. That y'all can rotate your 4 down linemen 3 times, go to your 11 and 12 depth chart player, and they're going to be just a little bit below the 1s and 2s because you have the depth. Teams that don't have the depth, look, A&M. We do rotate the 3 centers. We also don't have our best running back, Le'Veon Moss. We still run for over 200 yards a game because we have depth. That's what it all comes down to. There's going to be injuries in this game. This football. This ain't no, tennis or something, or golf or whatever. This is a physical sport. People will get hurt. That's how it goes. You have to have the depth.
But and that's what separates the pretenders and contenders.
That is why I think our team, my team, is better off this year because we have more depth than I've ever seen us have, to where the fall off from the 1s to the 2s is not huge.
Hey, they just said yesterday, and first of all, that the commentators was tripping that we were playing 4 running backs, but we're keeping our guys fresh. And that's what they're not understanding. We have third string players that's getting burned out here. And now when you come to Ohio State, and really it should be Alabama, Michigan, everybody, your third string, you're most like you're not redshirting. You're going to get in that game. You're going to give somebody a breather. You're going to get out there and get some action. And they also said that Ohio State right now has, we got 2 more weeks left. We have run less plays than pretty much everybody, and we played equivalent to, they said it'd be like 1.5 games less than everybody else because of our style of the play and the way that Coach Day is coaching this team, having a full understanding what this college football playoff is all about. And it's about having depth, and it's about keeping players fresh. You got to go 3 deep. It ain't even just a 2 deep anymore. You need to be 3 deep, and you need to be able to rest those players, because if you plan on going the full ride, you have a 16 NFL game type season, and you have to prepare for that. And the only way you can prepare for that is by having depth.
Yeah, and we started a red shirt freshman at right tackle yesterday. Carnell didn't play. We rotated 6 different receivers onto the field.
Yeah, and we talked about that before the season started, that you got to have depth everywhere because, like T-Juan just said, it's a freaking NFL season. If you got a team that you think can make the college football playoffs, you got to be planning on playing 16 to 17 games. You can't be wearing those kids out like that. Now, last year, of course, they had the 2-headed monster, so they didn't have to play even though they play that other guys too. But you can't sit those two guys like that. So they can play those 4 guys this year. But I think that's the key to everybody understanding that if you're gonna make that run, like Ryan Day understands, shit, man. Hey, we gotta play as many guys as possible because this is a long, long, grueling season. But another thing to go along with his point, teams understand that you cannot allow the Ohio State Buckeyes to have 10, 11, and 12 possessions. You got to slow this game down to a crawl because if you let them get 10, 11, 12 possessions, they're going to probably beat you 70-3. So teams are trying to shorten the game too, which doesn't allow y'all to get as many plays because y'all don't get as many possessions because they don't want y'all to have that many possessions, bro. Otherwise, they're going to get blew out the stadium. And they understand.
Well, Rob, it's more us than them, though, because we rank 131st out of 131 teams in pace of play, and that's on purpose.
Well, I mean,
we snapping the ball under 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Like,
we're letting
majority
the
of the
clock go
time.
down. We're building efficiency. We don't care about the possessions. We just want to be efficient.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But I'm just saying on the flip side of that, the other teams are happy that you're doing that because they don't want you to get as many possessions as possible. So they trying to slow it down too. They ain't trying to let you have a whole bunch of time on the clock. I mean, that's the smart.
Yeah, but
Ryan
see, that's
Day
what
said,
keeps us fresh, though.
Yeah, Ryan Day said when it's time to crank it up, we will. It's not going to be a pace game once we get into these big time games coming up later on this month.
Who y'all got the rest of the season outside of Michigan?
UCLA and Maryland.
And Maryland, okay.
Rutgers. Is it Maryland or Rutgers?
Okay.
And is Michigan y'all's only road game, or y'all
Just some more tune ups. Bro, it don't matter if we're on the road or at home against those games.
No, I was just asking the question. I don't know if
I'll check for you real quick.
I was about to say I think we play Maryland on the road. UCLA we play here. It's a night game. Think about going to that joint for real.
Yeah, that should be that's not a good game, but it should be a good game to go see if it's a night game against UCLA. I mean, they've been playing some really good football here lately. Now, we know they can't compete with Ohio State, but still, that would be a good game to go to.
Hey, let me throw something out there real quick, though, y'all. Y'all talking about that Indiana play being the play of the game. Did y'all not see that ball that QB threw for Oregon to get them to go and win that game? Did y'all not see that ball placement?
That
looked like AI, as if the ball went through the player.
Right.
Yeah, that was a dot.
Yeah,
I don't know if they win that game without that play either.
Yeah, they not winning that game without they're not winning that game without that play. They're losing. That play, that pass, even that catch. I mean, goodness gracious, I don't know how the ball got through there.
That was a hell of a play itself, but I still take the Indiana one over it because the Indiana one gave them the win.
I mean that play. If they don't get that play, they're probably not winning the game.
Well,
or you're probably not winning without that.
They may not win the game.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, it's kind of that's the only reason I'll give the nod to the Indiana one because that was for that clinched the game.
That ball had 99.9% chances of being completed.
Yeah.
That ball had 99.9% of a chance to be incomplete, and it was complete. That was crazy.
Hey,
Penn State player just didn't push him out of bounds hard enough. That was one of the softest pushes I ever seen. No way he should have caught that ball.
Nah, he should have just pushed him right into that.
I'd have pushed him. He'd have been up in that front row right there behind the goalpost.
He'd have been hanging around the goalpost.
Man, you understand what I'm saying?
dude. Yeah, I mean, you got to.
If I'd have had to kick him out of bounds, he getting out of bounds.
Jesus, yeah, but yeah, I don't get that.
Still
So,
great,
yeah.
great ball placement, great catch, great footwork. I mean, it was good.
How much y'all think that rain had an effect on that game? Was that advantage?
A lot.
For sure.
A lot. You know, them weather conditions, you know, that's why it's so tough. And that's why I want to see more Southern teams coming up north here. You know, I'm glad that they had these playoffs where you can get a home game, and you're going to start seeing how that weather is going to affect these Southern teams when they got to come up north and play in these conditions that they're not used to.
I mean, I've said it on a past podcast when we were analyzing and breaking down the Big Ten. I said, man, when it gets to this point of the year, when we in them long socks and hoodies, these other teams are gonna have a difficult time coming to the Midwest, and that even extends to the playoffs. These Midwest teams that have home playoff games, it's gonna be very difficult for everybody else to come in and get a victory. Weather matters.
I need y'all, hey Post. I'm rooting for y'all to get a home game. I need for y'all to have a home game. And I need for one of those Southern teams to have to come up to South Bend and play some football in December. I kind of wish Indiana would have lost. You know, they still would have made the Big Ten playoff game, and then a L to Ohio State, and now they get a home game to open up the college football playoffs. You know, we need more. We need as many games up north as possible. And I just feel like to even out the playing field, because all our lives we got to go play in y'all's conditions come December and January. We got to go play in the sun, and the weather's beautiful and all of this and all of that in December. That ain't what we prepare for.
Well, now you can also, not blame that on us either. That's on your media.
Oh no, that definitely ain't
on your
y'all's
TV
fault.
people
Yeah.
saying, hey,
Yeah.
we need this
No.
in warmer weather, just like the Super Bowl's in a dome every year, pretty much,
Yeah, ain't that crazy, Sean?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I wonder, T. I think coming up north for a Southern team depends on the team. See, I think A&M is built to handle that weather because we can run the ball. Now, these spread offenses that come up here, I think they would struggle more than a team that can run the ball and run the ball, efficiently. So I think it's a catch-22 on coming up north and based on the team. A team like Texas Tech back in the day would not do well up north with that spread offense. But a team like, go back to even the Georgias and Alabamas when they were running the ball like crazy, those teams are more equipped to handle the cold and the rain because they just line up and push you. So I guess it depends, but I wouldn't have any problem with my team coming up north and playing. I wish they would, because be a road trip for me in a heartbeat.
Hey, Sean, I'm gonna tell you this. Hey, them hits, they can like run it as much as they want, but them hits hit different when it's cold, my brother. And if your body ain't used to that, and them bones get to rattling and shaking after some of them thunderous hits, it's different.
Oh yeah, I'm from Texas, and I played in a high school game in December when it was sleeting and 30 degrees outside, wind chill of -4, and all. We've played up North Texas gets pretty nasty weather too, but those hits, yeah, you're right. In the cold, nah, I'm good. You hit me one time in that cold weather, I'm just gonna lay down and fake a hamstring or something.
Yeah. Do y'all think that if Indiana does run the table and then they lose in the Big Ten championship game, will they still be ranked in the top 4, you think?
Yeah, they'll probably go to number 4.
Right now, if it goes the way it is, you're looking Alabama, A&M, Ohio State, Indiana. in the conference championship games, right? That's pretty much where we're sitting. Those are 4 seeds anyway. Big Ten winner, SEC winner, 1 or 2. Big Ten runner up, SEC runner up, 3 or 4. And they need to just put them on opposite sides. You don't need Ohio State, Indiana
Right.
in the semifinal and A&M and flip them.
Agreed.
If A&M's the 2 seed, if it's Ohio State, A&M, then Indiana needs to be the 3 and Bama needs to be the 4.
Yeah, and Indiana isn't going nowhere with just one loss, and that one loss being to Ohio State.
No,
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
What
they're
if
locked.
Texas Tech run the table?
same-
Or what if
and
Texas Tech
same
run the
with
table
Texas
when
Tech. They ain't
when
going
they've
nowhere
got
either.
loss?
Won't matter. Won't matter. Texas Tech run the table. It's not going to matter. You're not going to drop Indiana from 1 or 2 because they lost their conference championship game.
Or
Even if-
A&M
even if
or
Tech
Alabama. Nobody's getting out the way for Texas
So
Tech.
if Tech runs the table, to your point, and Indiana doesn't lose, but except for to Ohio State, right? And A&M doesn't lose except to Alabama in the championship game. Tech, Bama, or Tech, A&M, and Indiana all have the same record. You tell me who the 2 best out of those 3 are. It's Texas A&M and Indiana. Tech would probably be the 5 seed, but they won't jump into the top 4.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was just throwing the hypothetical.
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
no.
Would they
There's
try
so
to
many hypotheticals.
bring in a one-loss other conference champion ahead of one of those 2 teams that played in the championship game but didn't win it but got 1 loss as well? Would they try to put them ahead of, since they're a conference champion, ahead of one of those 1-loss non-champions who made it to the championship game?
I don't think so.
Let me tell y'all what I think the committee and the AP voters might do when those polls release. I think you're gonna see A&M jump Indiana. As much as SEC Sean probably don't want to hear it, Indiana went on the road, struggled against Penn State. Still, they won the game. I don't think there's a such thing as a bad win. A win is a win. I'd rather win in a nasty game. But Texas A&M on the road against Missouri, I think they're going to jump Indiana in the polls. Indiana will remain in the top 4 throughout the duration, but I think when them polls release, I think you're going to see A&M jump Indiana.
Hey, Post, I'm probably gonna have to agree with you right there because I've seen it firsthand dropping after a win. So I really could see the committee putting A&M at that number 2 spot and dropping Indiana down to the 3. That's a good point. I agree with you right there. If I was a bet man, I bet that happens come Tuesday.
It's probable, but I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't really.
Well, no, y'all going to number 2, Sean. Don't. Y'all going up there.
It doesn't matter if we went to number 1. I wouldn't care. I don't care.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
All it is a number beside your name that means absolutely nothing. If you're not if A&M has a number 1 beside their name Tuesday, and Ohio State lifts the national title, that 1 didn't matter. We don't.
For sure.
We don't get any extra points like in the game if we're the 1 seed, right? We don't get it to start with like 10-point lead.
Not a one.
Well, I mean, if that was the case, then yeah, give me the 1 seed. But if we don't get no special cheating points for it, then I don't want the 1 seed.
Man, I honestly believe that 5, 6, 7, and 8 are the best seeds. I think those are the best seeds. A home game. That's why they have to change this thing, man. They have to change it because I would rather be 4, 5, 6, or 7. I meant 5, 6, 7, or 8. I would rather be any one of those opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4 and sitting at home And we saw that just didn't work out well for any of those teams last year.
Yeah. Especially if you didn't have to play in a daggone championship game too. Shit, that's perfect.
Right.
That is perfect.
Yeah, because the way it breaks down, championship weekend is December 1st through the 7th. That week is when the championships are played. The football playoff doesn't even start till the 19th for the first round. So you got 2 weeks off. Your Alabama, A&M, the top four right now, Ohio State, Indiana, they're going to have 3 weeks off. That's
some teams might need it to get healthy. You know, it could be a pro and a con, a plus and a minus. You know, some teams may need those 3 weeks to get healthy.
But your teams like Ohio State and even throwing Texas A&M in there with the depth we have, you don't need that. You'd rather
right. You want to keep it moving and grooving.
Right. Wear these other teams down that don't have the depth. Make them, surrender to how you're going to impose their will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But
I'd love to have a home game at Kyle Field. Do not get me wrong. I would love that place. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
It'll be all the way turned up, Sean. It's a beautiful environment.
We're not even on TV this week. The number 3 team in the nation ain't even going to be on TV this week. Oh wait, nope, they flipped it. ESPN picked it up.
I'm about to say that
yesterday it wasn't on TV. But I'm going to tell y'all this. That's an 11 o'clock kickoff Central Time. I bet you there's over 100,000 people at that stadium at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time back home in a month. So, but I'm going to give props real quick post-game to Love. That run against Notre Dame was impressive as hell. The spin when he got up and took off running.
Bro, the awareness, people sleep on awareness. The awareness you gotta have to make a play like that.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing to see. But I will say a reminder to y'all. I'm not saying this is gonna happen this year, but remember, all the teams that had a bye lost last year.
Yeah.
I don't want no bye until further notice, man.
Right.
If I'm any team, I don't want to bye. I want to keep rolling.
Man, that's why I say that 5, 6, 7, 8. Those the top spots. I think 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think you kind of like penalized by sitting at home and not playing. That bye week isn't what it's all cracked up to be to me.
To me, I'll tell you right now, I'd rather be 5 or 6. Because 5, you're gonna get the group of 5 player team, right? And 6, you're gonna get probably the ACC champion. I think any one of the Big Ten or SEC teams would destroy them.
Yeah, you get a nice tune-up game at home.
Right. You get to home. Fresh. You get to stay fresh. You get to get maybe some backup, some reps because maybe you blow them out. So now you get to work on some depth for your quarterbacks and running backs and stuff. And then you got the next game. Then, 5 or 6 is the way to go because 8, 9, winner of that game gets to play the 1 seed.
Yeah.
What's that?
I think he was talking to somebody else about the Bengals. But that's all I got, y'all. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add before we go? We've been coming up on a hour and 25 minutes. We had some good discussion about all of the conferences. Sorry, post-game Notre Dame ain't in no conference. We didn't get to talk about you.
Hey, it's all good. I'm like the rest of y'all. I like to fly under the radar, baby.
I know that's right.
Living the sweet life.
I'm pulling for Notre Dame to keep climbing because it don't do nothing but help my resume.
Hey, that Pitt and Notre Dame game next week, that's gonna be a banger.
We got some bangers next week. I'm not even gonna lie. Just looking through the schedule, man, you got Oklahoma, Alabama, Texas, Georgia. Y'all got Pitt, right? Post. Is that this week or next week? Okay. Who else we got this week in the top 25? Let's see what other good matchups we got real quick. That's the wrong week. I was like TCU and I was like Texas Tech and BYU ain't playing again, are they? Let me see what else we got. Iowa USC could be interesting for USC if they lose that game.
Where's that game at? Where's that game at?
USC.
Oh, okay.
California. It's on Saturday. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Watch the group of 5. James Madison fixing to be the playoff team come this Tuesday.
I agree.
You don't North Texas and Navy. You don't believe in either one of those teams?
Well, here's the problem though. James Madison was second and the also receiving votes thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it doesn't. It's because it's a different thing with the committee and the AP, but that's where they were with the AP, and they won. And other like Missouri and them lost, so they'll fall out. James Madison's going to be in the top 25. I think they're going to replace Memphis as the group of 5 leader. As of right now, James Madison has a 35% chance to make the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
USF is 25, and North Texas is 22. So
yeah, it's weird because USF beat North Texas but lost to Navy, correct?
they lost to Memphis.
They lost to Memphis.
They still play Navy.
Got you.
So, but if James Madison wins out and wins their conference, I don't think anybody's going to leapfrog them.
Yeah.
So
they're undefeated, right?
They lost to Louisville by 14.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah,
that's not a bad loss. I mean, it looks worse with Louisville losing yesterday, but it's not a bad loss for a team like James Madison to lose by 14 to, an ACC school.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm gonna say
I was
this.
just giving James Madison some props.
Yeah, he called that James Madison. Mr. Rob.
Yes, sir.
If Texas freaking wins out, I'm done with you, man.
Why you
I'm not, because I already know what you're gonna do. If Texas wins out, that would be crazy.
Well,
What
get ready.
What he gonna do, bro?
We winning out.
Bro, we ain't gonna hear the last of it.
Are you sure?
We ain't gonna hear the last.
You sure?
Post.
Especially that guy down there with that 14 jersey on. He really gonna hear it because he said we was done 5
We'll
weeks
save
ago.
you. We'll save you from that.
There you go. Because I don't want to believe that the ATM, aka Texas A&M, I don't want to say that they were a fluke once they get to this Texas team. I want to see them put that BTA and bring Texas right back down to earth and let them know where they at and where they stand and where they going.
Who y'all got left?
You sound like FanDuel Zaya.
Who y'all got left?
We got Georgia, Arkansas, Texas A&M.
Y'all got Georgia
Y'all got Georgia too. Man.
We got Georgia next week at Athens, and we're gonna beat.
Man, stop it.
Then we're gonna beat. Well, listen to me. Then we're gonna beat Arkansas at the crib. Then we're gonna beat Texas A&M at the crib. And listen, it's all entertainment. They want Texas to win to go.
You remember last week I told y'all that my lock was A&M over Missouri 31-17. I missed it. It's 38-17. Texas has no idea what's coming.
It was good money. It was good money.
Great money.
No idea what's coming.
Hey, but y'all know we was talking weeks ago too. Man, it's starting to play out. We're gonna see I think we're gonna see a 3-loss team in this playoff, man.
I'm taking a 3-loss Big Ten or SEC team over a 2-loss ACC or Big 12. Easy, like without question.
With the shakeup in the ACC yesterday and the Big 12 looking like a 1-bid league, I think you're going to get a 9-3. I just don't know who that 9-3 is going to be.
And that bodes well for Texas.
That
definitely bodes well for you too, Post, because we was like, oh, maybe it'd be a lot of 2-loss teams that's gonna be clunked up, but Notre Dame ain't losing no more. You know what I mean? I think they're gonna win out for sure.
Yeah.
I mean that Pitt game is gonna be tough, but I'm gonna pick them to win that game right now.
That game's at Pitt, right? Is it at Pitt?
Where it's at
Yeah.
Pitt? Yeah, I still would take Notre Dame in that game, but
Me too.
I mean that's good. That's good. If they can get a 3-loss team in the playoffs, I think Notre Dame, even if they lose that game, I think they still have a good chance of getting in because of that brand.
Hey, Post, I'm a Notre Dame hater, but I also like Notre Dame. How about that?
That sums up T1.
That's crazy, ain't it?
That's
Like, I
T1
don't
for
like
you.
them, but I like them because y'all got my Buckeye coach out there. And at one point, I was attempting to try to have another team that I followed in college football. It just didn't work. I thought I could do it like I do the Bengals and the Browns and stuff, but it just didn't work out for me. But I love the uniforms. You know what I mean? I got much love for y'all's coach. I got love for y'all's tradition.
Well,
You
don't
know, but-
forget, T1.
Come on.
Y'all owed us one for Marcus Freeman because guess what? We gave y'all Urban.
Oh yeah, all good, all good.
Hey, did we get post game thoughts on that Navy game? That's what I was about to ask. That's what I was about to
Yeah,
ask
we
before I had to
never.
jump out.
No. Hey, Post. I see you get hated on too. You know, he said he ain't had. I see you get hated on too. Why we can't talk about Notre Dame? We got them in the building. Why they wasn't on the dock?
He trying to fly up under the radar.
Yeah, I'll take it. But in all seriousness, y'all gotta think. We had our 3 best offensive linemen were not playing this game. Our 2 best defensive tackles were not playing this game. And Navy is the number 1 rushing offense in the country. It's difficult to prepare for that option. And their starting quarterback, who we prepared for off season and the week leading up to this game, didn't play. So we seen a whole different style. But I mean, impressive win. Notre Dame did what they supposed to do. They stood on business. So let's go.
Right. I about to say y'all didn't have a tough matchup or nothing.
No, it's the thing about Navy is, bro. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. It's difficult to prepare for that option because
Absolutely.
not many teams deploy that kind of offense.
Yeah, absolutely. We have had our share of Navy games.
Yeah, that ain't an easy game for real.
Well, it was easy for Notre Dame yesterday.
Let's talk about Texas, man.
Hey, we about to go 3-0 in these next 3 games, and then y'all really gonna be hearing about them.
Hey, Rob, I will honestly say this. My opinion, I believe that y'all have a better chance of beating Georgia than y'all do Texas A&M.
Georgia's playing some
So
really
y'all better get that one.
Yeah, I mean that's first on the docket, but
Hey, for y'all to be a 4-loss team, and then we have to revisit. Not just talking about okay if they make the playoffs and win 2, and I'm gonna do my thing, but what if y'all take 4 of these L's on y'all's way up out of here? Then we're gonna have to talk about that too, because that's a really, really strong possibility.
Yes, it is a really strong possibility. Then I'm gonna hear FanDuel's mouth because he said that we're going 8-4 or something like that. But we going 10-2. We about to beat a top 5 team.
Boy, you don't sound
3
confident.
team.
I'm gonna keep it 100.
Bro, we
You do
winning
not
the
sound
games.
confident, Rob.
Listen to me. We are winning those games.
Hey, I'm in play for that 8-4, and I called that before the season.
Yeah,
I
you
called
did.
every loss on your schedule so far. You feel me?
Yeah, you did. You said y'all, Florida, Georgia, A&M. Well, you might have threw Vandy. Might have been another one you had. You might have said Vandy.
Absolutely not. I never said Vandy once.
Yeah, you did. You said Vandy.
No.
Well, not
I mean,
at the beginning of
I
the
said
season.
it the week of that
Yeah,
game,
the weekend.
but I ain't say it before the season.
But we going undefeated in these next 3 games. You heard
No,
it.
you
I
ain't.
hope y'all do, man. I really
you
hope
ain't.
y'all do.
Hey, Rob,
ain't-
y'all play Alabama this year too?
No.
No, we don't get Alabama until
Okay.
in maybe a couple of more years. I don't think we get Alabama.
My theory on it is this right here, and I'll leave it at this. This is not disrespecting Ohio State at all, but we will be the best offense you will face. The only reason I say that is because Ohio State was just now breaking in that quarterback in that. If you played Ohio State now, it ain't 14-7. I promise you, it's going to be a lot worse.
Yeah, it's 14-7, but Texas got 14.
Yeah, no. I promise you, when we play y'all, it is not going to be pretty, Rob. It is not. We've had one team.
Look, hey,
us
I
under
can't
30.
wait to see that game.
One team hold us under 30, and that was Auburn, and we had 2 touchdowns called back, which would have put us over 30. We have almost scored 30 points every game. We're going to hang 4. I'm telling you right now, we're going to put 50 on Texas's defense.
If Texas is fully healthy defensively,
It won't matter.
y'all
Yeah,
might
we're not doing none of these if things, Rob.
you might get 20.
Nope.
Y'all
We'll put
might
50
get
on you,
20.
and y'all might get to 17.
Y'all might get 20.
I'm calling it now 47-23.
Damn.
Nah.
That's what Sean just said.
PK, the defense y'all been seeing Texas play against the Kentuckys and the Mississippi States and the Vanderbilts of the world, they are not playing that kind of defense against Georgia, nor are they going to play that kind of defense against Texas A&M. It's going to be
what is the difference?
The difference is what the play caller that PK is going to call. He's going to call that game totally different than he did against any of those teams. Trust me.
Y'all see what Moss saying in the chat? He said undefeated and SEC title game. Whoa.
He said what? What did he say?
He said Texas wins the next 3 and the title game. I don't want us to go to the title game. I want somebody else to play in that. I don't want to play it.
Oh man, them is bold claims.
Man.
Watch it play out. Y'all gonna be like,
Nah,
next week, y'all gonna be like,
Moss,
shoot, he might be right.
Moss, you know we ain't rocking with it.
What's up with this? Huh?
Oh.
Ooh. Hey, Moss
SEC Sean.
Moss trying to get some juice flowing.
That's all.
You know he a fire starter, man.
That's
fine.
Yeah.
But SEC Sean has been humble, Moss. He has been humble, I should say.
Well, we
He
all
don't
know
even want to talk about him.
Yeah, he been all the way good. He definitely ain't me or Zay.
he gonna be humble until we talk about them playing against Texas. He can't be humble when that game come up because he don't like them horns. And
that's when
me, him, and Doug get on the show and we do our preview and our post game, we're gonna get to see how he feeling beforehand and afterhand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. Right now we got South Carolina next. That's all I'm worried about. 1-0. South Carolina, rest and heal up versus our non-conference bye week with Samford. And then we're gonna go all at it, and it's gonna be nasty.
Hey, are y'all able to construct y'all's top 25 today at some point?
I can.
You know, I want to, because I want to kind of do that for 12 rows. I still want you to make your own, though, Sean. But I want to put the group chats, like however Post was explaining it. I don't know. I'll get more details from you in the chat of how it worked.
All right.
Yeah, you just everybody get their top 25 and just average it out.
Are we doing it college football playoff way or are we doing it AP way?
Playoff time now, baby.
Yeah, just rank them how you rank them. Top 25.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter if it's playoff or AP poll. Just rank them how you think they would rank them in the if you were on the playoff committee. What's your ranking?
Yeah,
and then you and I want to do that, and then you still want to do the 16, right, Zay? The top 16 for the bracket.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do what we think is going to project that at the end, or you still want to go week by week? Because we talked about going out to what we thought the committee was going to do at the end of the season, but I don't know if you want to do that or if you just want to keep it week by week.
Man, from here on out, I'm just gonna try to project
Okay.
who I think is gonna make it, but I
Okay.
still want to give another side of how everybody else feel and average it out. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
it'll be
right,
like it'll be the WTP, top 25. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you want to hit that up and record.
We're gonna have to go live tomorrow
I'm live tomorrow at 7.
at 7.
Yeah, me and Doug are breaking down the 5A and 6A playoff brackets out of Texas.
All right, I'll talk to you. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good whenever. I mean, we can go. I don't know what your schedule's like tomorrow. Me and Doug ain't gonna be on too long, so we might be able to do it after that one too. So we'll figure it out. Just hit me up.
All right.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good rest of y'all's day, man. Enjoy this NFL action, man, and hopefully we'll be talking soon.
For sure.
All right, y'all. Hey, T-Y, say we was in the building. Now we out.
We was in the building. Y'all know what it is, man. We was in the building. Now we up out of here. Peace. Hey, I love y'all, brothers.
Yeah.
Love you too,
All right,
bro.
fam.
Y'all
Love
be
you.
good.
All right.
There we go.